Okay, in this lesson we're going to continue working on the wheel and the landing gear assembly. And what I'm going to do for this particular piece, is first thing I want to do is I want to shore up this edge. And to do that, I'm going to hide my template. And I'm going to go ahead and turn off X-ray. And I'm going to bring up edges. And I want to go and I want to fence this edge. In order to do that, the easiest way, the quickest way is going to be to bevel it. And the reason it's going to be quicker is I could cut it using the tool here, but it would take a bit of time. So instead, I'll just go to bevel, and you can see it gives me a really tight bevel as is. I can increase that offset, not the offset, fraction. Increase that fraction a bit, and I can also increase it by changing the segments to 2. Okay, and that makes it really sharp. Now I want to make sure it didn't cut across, which it did not, so we're in good shape. And so there we go with that. That works out pretty well. Now, one thing that we will find out is that when the landing gear is completed, we'll see that this point will actually, when it rotates on the wheel, will kind of dig into the ground. So what you may want to do is go to Vertex and press B to bring up your smooth selection, and press B to go to tool settings. That brings it up. I'm sorry. Yeah. But you got to press move tool to bring that up, and we'll go to soft selection, and we'll kick up our volume a little bit and try and raise that up just a touch. Rotate that down a bit. Just a little bit. Doesn't require a lot. Okay, so that should do it. So we'll press B to turn off smooth selection. All right, so now I'm going to go back to my right view, and I'll go back and bring back my layer editor. And I'm going to select, and I'm going to go to Edit, Delete by Type History. And it looks like, yes, I did. Looks like I was right. These have gone a little bit wonky on me. All right. So I need to pull that down. In fact, I may do the same thing there. There we go. All right. So what I want to do now is I want to grab these faces that make up this top here. And I want to make sure that I get basically 2 going all the way across. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 10 faces. That's going to work fine. That'll work perfectly. And what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and extrude, and I'm going to press the toggle, move this up, and then I can scale this a bit, scale this in a bit, turn on X-ray, and I'm going to flatten this extrusion profile a little bit. And I see I've gotten too many of those in there, so let me undo it back. Holding down my control key to trim out my selection. See, I'm going to have to go to my perspective view to trim it out finally. I've got those 2 polygons in there. There we go. All right, let's go back to the right view and extrude. I'll pull these. Actually, I want to pull this to about right there and scale it inward and flatten the extrusion. And I'll also rotate it for now. Pull it down, pull it in. All right, now I want to do the same thing here, but in order to do that, I'm going to need to change where my where this is coming from. So I'm going to press D and V again and snap it to that center line and pull that in like so. Okay, and what you can see is now this is starting to sharpen up. Now remember, we've got those center lines that we're going to have to get rid of, but for right now we're in good shape. All right, so let's press G again and get another extrusion. We'll pull this up, and we'll pull this over and back. Okay, and flatten it, and scale it like so. And actually, I don't have to do this from the front. I'll press W to bring that back in. Now, if I need to, there's, of course, nothing stopping me from pulling this in like so. okay, to sharpening that up. In fact, I can grab both of these and pull those in and pull these out, although I don't want to put too much emphasis on what this is going to look like until I get those center points, those center faces deleted. All right, so let me go back to my face, grab these faces, deselect, this is important, deselect these faces here. There, just want those top faces selected, and we'll extrude again. All righty. Okay. All righty. That's looking pretty good. Getting close to the edge there. And let me move this down and scale this out. Okay, good. All right, so now what I need to do, I'm going to go ahead and delete my template layer, not delete it, but hide it. And I'm going to go back to faces, and I want to go ahead and grab these faces, these center faces, and I want to delete them. Now, the reason why I want to do that is I want to do something that's a little bit different than what we've done before. Normally, I would leave these as halves, but we're going to do something very interesting with the fitting this to the wing. So to do that, I need to have the full hubcap or the full strut good to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to mesh and I'm going to mirror my geometry. Okay, and I'm going to mirror it to X and click apply, and there's my my full strut. Now here's what's kind of neat about this. I'm going to grab these vertices and then I'm going to click on the wing. Okay, now it's green. That means it's selected, and I've got these vertices, and I'm going to go to deform, and I'm going to choose shrink wrap. Okay, now this is a great tool because what it does is it snaps those vertices to the wing. I'll go to my outputs, shrink wrap, it says toward inner object. Instead, let's go to vertex normals. That looks like I've got an offset. Nope. Let's go to closest. There we go. Closest works best. All right. Now, if it's a little bit off, that's okay, because what we can do is we can move these and they will conform. They will stick to the wing. So I can move them like so and see how they conform to the wing. It's a great tool. It's actually made for animation, but in this case, it's going to do us a great job. We can scale these out a little bit if we want. We can scale it like so and do really, really kind of a cool thing with these, and it will stick to that particular wing. I can grab these two and move them forward, and they will still conform to the edge of the wing, which is really neat. It's really a nice tool for modeling. Okay, so once we get that done the way we want it, once we get them arranged the way we want it, I can pull these in or pull these out and round off that edge a little bit. We now have our edge conform to the wing, so we don't have to guess anymore. It's perfect. It's really, really a nice inclusion to Maya's tool set. I'm going to fence off the top. Oops. Hold down the control key and fence off the top. Missed. One more time. Actually, I hit it, but it was too close. All right, one more time right there. Perfect. All right, so that got that. So now that's sharp. And we've basically finished our wheel, nacelle, or our hubcap, and our strut. And what we will do next is I need to get rid of that shrink wrap, because that shrink wrap will get in the way of what I need to do next. See, I may pull that back a little bit, which you can do. You can pull it back and they'll still stick. Once I've got it arranged the way I want it, I'm going to go to select the entire object and go to edit, delete by type history, and the shrink wrap goes away, and now I can move things as I need them, okay? And without having to worry about the shrink wrap. And that basically completes this part. What we're going to do next is I'm going to create the notch, or excuse me, the pin and the mortise, or the notch in the wing that this will sit in. And we'll do that in the next lesson.